Welcome everybody, my name is Timothy Jenkins and this video is for EDTC 517 class where I'll be using the Camtasia program to introduce our viewers to the program called Kahoot, which is an online quizzing, discussion, and survey program that you can use for interactive games with your kids in your classrooms. I used this program during my student teaching recently in my credential work and to great success, and my students had a lot of fun with this, so I wanted to share this online utility with other educators to see if it's something that they might be interested in. So the main picture we're looking at here is the Kahoot website, which is up here at kahoot.it. This is the screen that you'll come to. We'll get back to the game pin part in a second. But if you come down here to the bottom of the screen, it says create your own Kahoot for free at getkahoot.com. Now when you go to that website, you'll have to create a free account. I went ahead and already created one. I'm going to use the one that I used during my student teaching. So I'm going to switch tabs here to inside my account. So you can see here, this is where you click to make a quiz, a discussion, or a survey. I have 8 different quizzes that I made, and then public Kahoots, there are 10 million different Kahoots that other people have made that have shared, and you can simply look at one and decide to play one with your students if you want. So there's a lot of utility of different types of things that are already done without creating one yourself. Now just to show off the functionality of this, I'm going to show you the basic framework of how you would set up a Kahoot. So you would put in a title for whatever you wanted to do it on. You then set your settings to what language you want to use, what people do you want to see it, what is your audience for, school, university, business, training, etc. You can have intro videos, you can have pictures attached, things like this. So you use this builder to very slowly kind of go through and build each one of your slides. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of this because I'm going to show you one of the ones that I finished so you can kind of see the finished product of these Kahoots. Now when I was doing my student teaching, I was doing a social studies class in 8th grade. So one of the big subjects of that was on Andrew Jackson. So I did several different quizzes all about Andrew Jackson in the midsection, the later sections, and this Kahoot online quizzing program uses points, and so I had a kind of a competitive atmosphere with my kids, and they were all competing for different points and things over the course of the semester. It kept them engaged. So I'm going to click on this first one, which is the Introduction to Chapter 12, The Age of Andrew Jackson. So using that same builder that I already showed you, I attached these pictures to these pictures are the ones that are attached to each one of the questions I have, and they're all numbered. So question 1 would show this up on the board that the students would see, and then on each of the computers the students have, their Chromebooks or other things, these are the 4 answers that the students would see on their computer. So they would have a big red triangle, they'd have a blue hexagon, they'd have a yellow circle, they'd have a green square, and so then they would need to choose which one is the right answer. And so you can see I have different answers for all of these that they need to choose. So they'd see the picture, you can attach audio, all different kinds of things. Now over here it shows you how many seconds each time the students have to answer the question. There's a total of 4 choices and there's 30 seconds for the question. Okay, so I'm just going to show exactly how it works when you play it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play. Okay, and I'm going to choose the classic option. And so what it does is it goes ahead and generates this number. You see this pin number here. So now this is the teacher's screen, and they will have all the students go to our original page at Kahoot, and they're going to type in that pin number that we have right here, which is the 888447. So I'll go ahead and type that in. What is it? 888447. Okay. So we type that in and we hit enter. Okay, but now we need a nickname, so I'll just put Tim, and I'll say okay, go. Okay, so it says I'm in. So this is what the students will see, that they're in. This is what the teacher sees. Now Tim right here is on the list as far as a player. Now see this line through, I can kick him if I want, if he's causing problems or if the name is not appropriate. Okay, so once we're ready to go, we hit start, and this is the large picture that will be up on the screen. Now this is what the students are going to see up on your your projector. So I had a projector at the front of the screen that would show this. So see, there's their 4 answers, and this is the timer that's counting down, and they need to choose one of them. So let's choose this one. Well, we can't choose because this is the teacher's version. But if I go to the students one, see, now they have a button, right? So let's say I pick this one. Okay, so it's waiting. Oh, see, now the teacher's version shows, oh, this was the right answer, and this is what Tim picked. So if there's 30 students, it'll show you a graph of what picked what answer. See, so then you can, and so the same thing repeats. So on my student one, it shows, oh, that was incorrect. Okay, and it shows you your points totals here. Okay, so you can repeat the process all the way through, and this shows the point totals as far as who's the leader in the quiz, things like that. But there's no other competitor, so it doesn't show points. Okay, so let's see, here's the next question that's loading. So this gives you an idea of how it works. I'm going to go ahead and skip through, and see, it'll show you at the end for the students as far as which answers were correct. In this particular one, all the answers were correct. Okay, so I'm going to say end quiz. So then it'll show who was the points leader, how many did they get correct, things like that. So I hope this video was useful. It shows I really had a lot of fun with this program, and there's literally 10 million different free quizzes, surveys, and discussions that are available for teachers. So definitely give it a shot, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you. Welcome everybody, this is Timothy Jenkins, and I'm doing my presentation today on the dark side of the internet. The specific subject is ransomware. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what exactly is ransomware? Well, ransomware is a type of malware that infects PCs and locks users out of accessing their files. The PC sometimes, or just the files, are held hostage by the hacker against the user. Now, the whole point of this is that the hacker is attempting to force the user to pay for a key to unlock the system. The hacker is trying to remain anonymous and collect payment from the user, and then once he gets the payment, the idea is the user gets a key that unlocks the system, or they don't get anything and they're just cheated out of it. Okay, so ransomware is also called scareware in that it scares you, the user, through threats of losing files or getting into your computer into paying money. Okay, so where did this all come from? Where is ransomware from? Well, it all started originally in Russia back in 2005-2006. Original programs were designed to go into your computer and just attack any documents you might have had, XLS files, JPEGs, which is pictures, anything that were zipped, or like PDF files. Okay, so the idea is that they were going to lock these programs down, and then you would have to pay to get them back. And if you're a big business, or they're really, really important files, sometimes people are willing to pay. Well, this is very, very lucrative for the hackers. They're making tons of money in Russia by doing this. So by the time of 2012, in Europe and North America, it's all over the place. It's being put, major websites are hacked, and it's put into their ads or other different things, and it's spread all over the place. And again, the programs are becoming more and more sophisticated because Microsoft and other the cops and other people are trying to shut these operations down. So now, just instead of attacking files, your entire computer can be corrupted or locked out. Okay, so the more advanced versions of these ransomware programs were found in Revton and CryptoLocker, what they're called. So what does Revton do? Well, they call this like police ransomware. In other words, it pretends that it's the FBI, the CIA, or it's a police department. So if you're in France, it's the French police department, or the Japanese police department, whichever country you live in. So basically, it uses the GPS locator on your computer, or like where you're getting a connection to the internet, and then it puts the appropriate picture up there for whatever police force is in your country. So again, they claim that you were caught doing illegal activity, so pornography or all kinds of other things. They use very legit looking logos to scare you into thinking this is a real thing. It directs users to sites where they pay their fees. So again, you have to pay the government. That is the government telling you to do this. Okay. Now, CryptoLocker is a little bit different. CryptoLocker encrypts all your files and locks your PC, and then it threatens to delete your files within so many days if payment is not received. And they sometimes have like a countdown timer on the screen. So this next picture, this is an example of what you would see on your computer for the police ransomware. Now it looks pretty legit. I mean, it's got FBI seal on there. If you read all the things it's talking about, it lists all these articles and sections. Again, your IP address, was visiting websites containing pornography, zoophilia, child abuse, whatever. You have 72 hours to pay the fine. Okay, so these parts are blurred out. So this is telling you how you had to pay the fine, like what site you had to go, things like that. So that's an example of the police ransomware. This is an example of the cryptoware, where you see this is a timer right here, and this thing slowly counts down. And what does it say? Any attempt to remove or damage the software will lead to immediate destruction of the private key. To obtain a private key to fix this problem, you need to pay 1 Bitcoin to this. So a lot of times they want payment in Bitcoins, right? So these are really scary things, and a lot of times when these pop up on your screen, if you don't know any better, you think it's totally legit and you did something wrong. Okay, so how do I get ransomware? Well, it can be downloaded on your computer without you knowing when you visit a malicious or a compromised website. This happened in the past to major shopping websites, where it was the ads that were on the website or even the website themselves got hijacked by hackers, and all the users ended up getting this onto their computer. It can also arrive as a payload, which means it's either dropped in or it's downloaded by other malware. So you didn't get the ransomware to start with, you got something else, and then the ransomware came in through it. It could be delivered to you as an attachment from a spammed email. This is a really common way, where you just get tons of emails, and if you're just clicking on all those links, sometimes it automatically downloads stuff on your computer. It could be downloaded from malicious pages through malvertisements on websites. So this is where you might have a lot of pop-ups, or you might have just little ads in corners, and you click on that ad, and sometimes it'll download something onto your computer. And lastly, it could be dropped by what's called an exploit kit onto vulnerable operating systems or applications. So if your programs are out of date, sometimes the hackers have designed little exploit kits or programs that will just load it straight onto your computer. Okay, how do I know what I have is ransomware? How do I know it's not something else? Well, usual things that happen with ransomware is full screen messages or notifications. It prevents you from accessing the computer system, and it shows instructions on the screen or for a phone number or something in a way to pay money, or it might prevent access to certain files, usually documents or spreadsheets. And the ones today usually show a countdown timer to when your files are going to be deleted to make you want to pay right away. Okay, how the hackers get the money? I mean, should we be able to track that? Well, hackers want to stay anonymous. They want to be untraceable from the authorities because everybody's trying to get them. Hackers will usually demand the payment in Bitcoins because that can be transferred into any kind of money anywhere in the world. They want some kind of global currency where they can travel anywhere to escape detection. Okay, sometimes they also demand Amazon or iTunes cards or other gift cards instead of actual cash. Basically, they want anything that's easy to convert into whatever cash they use, because they could be on the other side of the world. So how do I defend myself? This stuff is really scary. Well, first thing, 3-2-1 rule. 3 backup copies of files on 2 different media with 1 backup on a totally separate location. So this means like an external hard drive. It means putting your files up on the cloud. We've been talking about Google Docs, things like that. So just backing up your files to a bunch of other places than just on your computer. You want it on a separate hard drive, you want it saved on the cloud or somewhere, so that if your computer gets compromised, you can easily get them back. Okay, so do not open unverified emails or click links embedded in emails. That's kind of a no-brainer, but sometimes it can happen by mistake. And you need to regularly update your software program, so Windows, Google Chrome, etc. So Microsoft and Google and all those guys are always working on updating their programs to protect against these things, to prevent these downloads from happening. But if you haven't been updating your stuff, you won't have that protection. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps people be a little bit more informed about ransomware and just how to prepare themselves so that they don't get this kind of an issue going on. Okay, thank you very much.